This offense is incredibly explosive, powerful, and fun to run. With unique routes, trick plays, and dominant runs, this scheme is unguardable. In this video, I'm breaking down how to run the formation Y-off trips Pats in the Patriots offensive playbook. And I'll be breaking down each play in practice mode, but after each play, I'll be breaking down my online head-to-head gameplay so you can see exactly how it works against real players. So let's get started. So whenever you're in this formation, you always want the 3 wide receiver set on the far side of the field. This is because you'll have better route spacing and ultimately make it harder to defend. So the first play we're going to go over is Y option wheel, and for the first setup, all you're going to do is drag the slot receiver and then put the tight end on a corner. So the play should look like this. Now your first read in the play is the wheel route, and you really want to hit this wheel route against zone quick if there's no flat. So when I snap the ball, if there's no flat, you're just going to give it to the running back real quick, and you're going to try to make some people miss and get easy yards. Now the cool thing about this wheel route is that it also beats man over the top. So if the defense is in a cover 1 man with no deep safety help, all you're going to see here is that the running back, if you have enough time in the pocket, is going to burn his defender for a huge play over the top and possibly a 1-play touchdown if he catches it in stride. Now your second read here is the drag route, and the drag route can get open underneath zones or underneath the linebackers just like you see there. Now the other cool thing is that the drag also beats man, so at the snap you're going to see the drag could create some good separation, and if you hit him in stride and if it's a faster receiver, he'll be able to get a lot of yards. Now your third read is the tight end corner, and this corner can pretty much be any zone defense such as cover 3 hard flat, cover 2 hard flat, or cover 4 hard flat, and it also beats man. So right here we're in a cover 2 hard flat, and you're going to see that this corner route can get wide open on the sidelines just like you see right here. And the reason for that, and actually I'm going to do that again because I want to show you how open he should be. That time, that's not the play, there we go. That time the defense actually did really well against that, but you can see even if they play it well, can still be a completion. So when I snap the ball here, if we just wait a little bit more time, he's going to have a wide open catch on the sidelines. The reason being is because when we're in the instant replay, the streak will pull the deep zone back or up the field, leaving a wide open window for the tight end on the sidelines. Now the same thing goes with cover 3 or cover 4. Against cover 3 or 4, you're going to see this tight end will get wide open on the sidelines just like that. Now against man coverage, what you're going to see is that this tight end completely destroys man. So, let me set up the play real quick. You're going to see that the tight end, the short corner, will completely destroy man, create a lot of separation for huge gains down the field. Your last read is the post by the solo receiver on the left side, and this post is very good at beating zone or man. Against zone, you don't even need a pull route streak. He gets open underneath the blue zones, just like you see right there, especially with a pass lead down away from the zones. So I want to go to the instant replay real quick. You're going to see that these zones, because this is a short post and not a regular post, he runs underneath them. So they really have no shot of guarding it unless your opponent switch sticks. But that's why you want to always pass lead the ball down, like down here, like I did in that play, and then come back to the ball, because it really doesn't give an opportunity to the defense to pick the ball off or just disrupt the pass. You're also going to see that this post absolutely fries man defense, just like you see right here with a pass lead in stride for huge plays down the field. Now, let's get into the gameplay footage. In this play, it was still early in the game, and I was still getting a feel for how the defense wanted to play. So I went to setup number 1 out of Y option wheel. When I snapped the ball, I quickly realized my opponent was only rushing 3 players, so I knew I didn't have to rush the throw. Now, I could have hit the wheel route quick here, but I really wasn't expecting him to leave the flats open, especially when having 8 players in coverage. So instead, I glanced at the short middle of the field for the drag route. When I read there was open space, I threw it to the drag right away for an easy pitch and catch. In the next clip, my opponent was running a 4-man loop blitz, and since I was sending 5 out, I knew I had to get the ball out quick just in case the loop came in free. At the snap, I once again may have been able to hit the wheel route quick, but I did not trust this hook defender as I thought he was going to bite down towards the running back. So when I saw the hook defender, I immediately took my eyes towards this area of the field to read if the drag or corner route is open, and quickly realized the user was taking the drag. So then I read the outside wide receiver on a streak was pulling the deep zone back, and the flat defender was vacating towards the flat, which meant I had this short window to laser the ball to the corner for a possession catch before getting hit by the deep blue zone. For setup number 2 in Y option wheel, all you're going to do is streak the tight end, and then you can either leave the slot receiver on the flat or drag the slot receiver, and then you could either block the running back or leave him on that wheel route. Now, your first read in the play is the wheel route again, but again, if you block that running back, then your first read will be the drag. So here I blocked my running back. You're going to see, now that my first read is the drag, you can hit this drag against any zone underneath the linebackers. Your next read after that is the tight end, and the tight end streak can get open up the seam, and the seams are super vulnerable this year, so that's something you always want to look at. So when I snap the ball, if the seams are open, we can give it to the tight end just like that and could go for a huge gain. Your last read is the post, and again, this can create separation against man and find open windows against zone. So when I snap the ball, we're going to wait in the pocket and stand tall. You're going to see the post is wide open with a pass lead down and away, and try to make some people miss for huge gains. And here's the gameplay footage for this play. In this play, I noticed my opponent's safeties were backed off, leaving a gaping hole in the middle of the field. So I ran setup number 2 out of Y option wheel, where the streak by the tight end and backside post will attack the open space. At the snap, I quickly saw the running back was guarded, so I shift my eyes towards this portion of the field where I can see the flat defender, outside corner, safety, and user. So when I saw the flat defender guard the flat route, I knew the only 2 reads I had left were the streak and the post. In this situation, I was anticipating the user defender to not guard the streak all the way upfield because he would want to guard the post. Luckily, I was right, and with a pass lead down and away from the deep blue zones, while also ag catching the ball, I was able to pick up a huge gain. For setup number 3 in Y option wheel, what you're going to do is drag the tight end, streak the slot receiver, and then you're going to put the outside receiver on an in route, and that is what the play should look like. Your first read in this play is the tight end drag, and the tight end drag is one of the best routes in the game this year. It beats the heck out of man and zone. So you're going to see here against zone, you can pass that instantly underneath any zone really, unless they shade down, and even if they shade down, it's still usually open. And against man defense, what you're going to see is he creates a bunch of separation, and you can see if you can take that upfield right away, you can go for huge yards. Now, it's also important to remember that you could hit that wheel route quick, so if you want to, that could still be your first read. I like looking at the tight end drag first just because they're so good. So again, if the flat isn't really guarding the wheel route, or if there's no vert hook, you can hit that wheel route real quick and try to get some easy yards. That was a horrible juke, but you get the point. So your next read after the drag and the running back wheel is the in route by the outside receiver. Now what you'll see here in this play a lot of the times is that this player will actually guard the tight end, or the user will guard the tight end. So when I snap the ball, you're going to see if he guards the tight end, you have this open in route in the middle of the field. And then, of course, we have our last read, which is the post route. And again, against man defense, it literally just completely torches it. So we're going to see at the snap, we just pass lead it down below the safeties, and you can go for a one-play score if you have a faster wide receiver. And now here's the gameplay footage for the play. On this drive, my opponent was playing a lot of man and match coverage, which struggles against drags, wheels, and sometimes short post. So I ran setup number 3 out of Y option wheel. At the snap, I was reading the right side of the field to see if anyone was guarding the running back wheel, and actually saw the safety come down because he was manned up to the running back. Once I saw that, I knew there was open space for the tight end drag, and luckily, he created separation for an easy dot and a first down. In the second clip, I once again was trying to get a feel for how my opponent wanted to play defense. And setup number 3 out of Y option wheel is perfect for that because it attacks so many areas of the field with man and zone beaters. So at the snap, I saw my opponent only rushing 3 players, which meant I had time to let the play develop. And when I didn't love the reads underneath, I moved my eyes towards the middle of the field for the post. When I saw open space and the streak pull the deep zones away, all I had to do was pass lead the ball down and in stride to the post for a huge chunk of yards. For the fourth setup out of Y option wheel, what we're going to do is put the slot receiver on a curl route. we're going to streak the tight end, and then we're going to put the outside receiver on a smoke screen and leave everything else, so the play should look like this. So your first read here, again, is the tight end, or sorry, not the tight end, it's actually the running back wheel route, and if there's no flat, you can throw it to him. But if there is a flat, you then want to look at the curl route and the smoke screen. So let's see here, there's a flat, we're not going to throw it, so we're going to look at the curl route, and you're going to see the curl route is open with a pass lead away from the defender. So let's go to the instant replay here. So I went to my first read, I saw this defender here, so I was like, all right, that defender's guarding the wheel, let's go to the right side now. This flat guarded the smoke screen, which led this guy to be wide open. Now, I want you to see here, the cool thing about this is that in a game, if you see, this is usually going to be the user. If the user goes towards this curl route, guess what he leaves open? The post route coming across the field. So that's something that you want to be wary of. You have your reads, but if the user reacts a certain way, that's got to change your kind of read progression mid-play, because what I should have done here is as soon as I saw this player go to the curl, even though it was a completion, something that I'll have in a game, something that I'll have in mind is if that user guards the corner or the curl again, I'll then actually make this my next read instead of the curl, because I know it's possible that the user will guard the curl. So that's something to keep in mind. Now I want to show you the gameplay footage for this play to see how it works in actual head-to-head footage. In this clip, my opponent was running another loop blitz, and since I was anticipating one of the linebackers to blitz, I wanted to attack the side the linebacker is blitzing from. So I adjusted into setup number 4 out of Y option wheel because I wanted the streak to occupy the user, the smoke screen to pull the flat zones towards the sidelines, and then I wanted to hit the curl route underneath the deep blue zones. At the snap, the smoke screen pulled the flat zone towards the sidelines, and the user stayed in the middle of the field to guard the post. That led to the curl route to be wide open for a quick throw as soon as he turns around for the ball. The next play I'm going to go over is a cover 0 blitz beater. So for a cover 0 blitz beater, we're going to block the tight end first because we need extra people to block the blitz. Then we're going to drag the slot receiver. Then we're going to put a comeback on the outside receiver, and that is it. Those are all of our adjustments. Your first read on the play is the drag. If the drag is open right away, you want to give it to him because a cover 0 blitz could come in fast and you don't want to get sacked. So if that drag is open, we're going to give it to him real quick. Boom, just like that for some easy yards. Make the defense have to respect the underneath routes. Your next read in this play is the post, and you're going to see against a cover 0 blitz, you can actually throw this in the middle of the field, and if you have a fast receiver, you can possibly go for a one-play touchdown. Now your next read is the wheel route, and again, against man coverage, this wheel can absolutely torch man coverage. So with a good pass lead over the defender's head, you're going to see against cover 0, you could get a one-play touchdown to the wheel route. The next read in this play is the comeback, and because the comeback is a longer developing route, you want to make sure you have time in the pocket, and comebacks do cook man, so if you do have time in the pocket, you'll be able to get a lot of yards from running comebacks against man. Now here's the play in an online game. In this play, I was expecting my opponent to run a cover 0 man blitz because the secondary was lined up directly over the receivers, while the safety was only about 10 to 12 yards off the ball, directly lined up over the tight end. So I set up my cover 0 beater. At the snap, I saw the drag was defended well, so I moved my eyes to the post, which I also thought was defended pretty tightly. And because I knew wheel routes cook man defense, I didn't want to throw a risky ball when all I had to do was throw the ball to the running back in stride for an easy one-play touchdown over the top. Now we're going to go over a one-play touchdown against cover 3 or 4. Now you could run this one-play touchdown in any pass play in this formation, but we're going to stick with Y option wheel. For the adjustments, you're going to put a comeback on the outside receiver, you're going to drag the slot receiver, you're going to streak the tight end, block the running back for extra protection, then you're going to put a regular post on the solo receiver. So what you're going to see here is if I have enough time and step up into the pocket, stay tall, this receiver will get wide open just like this for a huge one-play touchdown. But I want to show you how this works in actual live gameplay, so here it is. In this play, this was my first offensive possession, and I chose to take a risk and set up my one-play touchdown versus cover 3 and 4. But because I wanted to make sure I had time to throw the ball down the field, I motion blocked the slot receiver, so I had more blockers. And as the play developed, I knew the defense was in a cover cover 4 by realizing they had 4 deep blue zones. And with the streak pulling the deep inside quarter back and the comeback pulling the outside quarter down, this post ran wide open over the top for massive yards to start off the game. Alright guys, so for this play, we're going to go over tight end whip. And for the first setup, all you're going to do is flat the solo receiver, put the running back on a streak, and then flat the slot receiver on the right side. So the play should look like this. Now your first read in this play is the flat route. So when you snap the ball, if the flat is open, you're just going to give it to the flat every single time for easy yards. The next read in this play is the running back streak, and you're going to see if the defense guards the flat, the running back usually will be wide open in this little pocket, and that is just a very easy throw and easy yards. So if the running back and the flat is guarded, you're then going to shift your focus to the right side, and you're going to read the flat and the zig. So if the left side is guarded, we're then going to see if the zig is open or if the flat is open. So when I snap the ball, we see the left side's guarded, the zig is open, we give it to the zig for a possession catch. Now when I go to the instant replay, just to show it again, you're going to see the running back was guarded, the flat was guarded, so I shifted my focus to this area of the field, and I saw that this flat defender was more so towards the sidelines, which left the zig route wide open in this little window. Now your last read in this play, the other reason I like this play is because the zig actually torches man defense, just like you see right here. And if you can take it upfield for more yards, definitely do so. Now your last read in this play is the post route, and this post is really good against man or zone. You're going to see against zone, it can get underneath the deep blue zones. And against man, it also creates separation. So if we go into man defense here, you're going to see, once I set up the play, that the post really does a great job against man, and you can just possession catch that again right in that window. So here are the gameplay clips. In this play, I wanted to try to get inside the end zone or closer to the end zone to run my red zone plays. So I set up one of the best short to medium route combos in the game. At the snap, I was reading this area of the field, and when I saw the flat guarded as well as the safety dropping down to guard the running back, I then shifted my focus to the right side of the field. When I saw the flat defender take the flat receiver and the user was behind on the tight end whip, I threw it to the tight end whip for a good pickup. And knowing my opponent was previously in a light defensive set with only 3 down linemen, I called a no huddle to quickly get back to the line to then audible down to a great run play called halfback zone weak in the formation tight Y off flex. And when I snapped the ball, the mismatch was too great for the defense, which led to great blocking and a touchdown. In the second clip, my opponent was running the meta loop blitz, so once again, I knew I had to get the ball out quick since I was sending 5 out. At the snap, I read the flat pull the flat defender towards the sidelines, and since there was no hook zones, the running back was wide open for an easy throw, and after making some people miss, it led to a big touchdown. For setup number 2 out of tight end whip, what we're going to do is streak the outside receiver, flat the slot receiver, then streak the running back. So the play should look like this. Then all you're going to do is motion the slot receiver over, and you're going to snap the ball right when he gets to about that area of the field. And I'll go through the reads in 1 second. I just wanted to show you that motion. So the reason we motion that flat is because that flat will take any flat zones away from the running back streak. So once I get this set up, your first read here is the flat route. So I snap the ball. If the flat is open, we can give it to the flat just like this for a couple of yards. And then your second read is the running back streak. So I'm going to motion over the player on the flat. Then we're going to snap the ball, and you're going to see we can give it to the running back streak right there in that open window. Now your third read is going to be the zig route. Now the zig could again get open in this open window against zone, and you can take it up the field, and just like I showed you before, it also beats man coverage. Now your next read and the last read is going to be this post route, and now again this post beats man or zone, and against zone you're going to see you can get it wide open on the sidelines or in the middle of the field. And here's the play in online head-to-head gameplay. In this play for setup 2 out of tight end whip, I saw my opponent was sending pressure with an extra edge blitzer. Knowing this, I knew I would have to take the first read I saw open. So when I read this side of the field, I saw the flat take his defender towards the sideline and the post take his defender upfield, leaving the running back wide open for a catch and first down. In the next play, my opponent was doing a great job of mixing in man and zone coverage, so at the snap of the ball, I read the flat was guarded, which made it seem like the running back streak was open, but luckily I saw the user running towards the running back, which made me go to my third read, the whip route. The whip was manned up, and because it's a man beater, he was able to create separation for a good pickup and first down. Now for the third setup out of tight end whip, what we're going to do is put the outside receiver on a comeback, the middle receiver on a streak, and then we could block the running back or put the running back on a flat. So the play could look like this. Now your first read in the play, if you do have a flat on the running back, is the flat. So if they are not guarding the flats, you can just give it to the flat real quick, get upfield for an easy gain. Your next read in this play is the tight end zig that beats man or zone. So at the snap of the ball, if there's open space underneath, give it to the zig, try to get upfield for some easy yards. Now your next read is the comeback route. And this comeback is very good against man or zone, and you just want to throw it to him when he breaks to the outside. So when I go to the instant replay, you're going to see that this streak is going to pull this deep outside zone against cover 3, cover 4, even cover 2, the deep half safety. So this is cover 3 right here. It's going to pull the deep zone back no matter what zone they're in. And this will create wide open space for the comeback route, especially because this zig route is going to pull the flat zone down. This will create a ton of space on the sidelines for the comeback. Now your next read is the post route, and this is your last read, and again, you can hit this post in the middle of the field just like this against man, against zone, even really good against switch stick actually, so it's just a very good solid play and route. In this clip, I blocked the running back to make sure I had time to throw the longer developing comeback, and at the snap, I first read the tight end zig, and even though I could have possession caught the ball in this window, due to reading the right half of the field, I saw there would be a better opportunity for more yards with the comeback route. When I saw the deep zones get pulled up the field, I knew I would have the comeback, but to make sure to get the ball over this flat defender, I highballed the pass for a big pickup to move the chains. The next play we're going to go over is called Scat, and for the first setup, all we're going to do is streak the tight end, we're going to streak the outside receiver, and that's it. Those are the only adjustments. Your first read in the play is the running back, and even though he's on a wheel, he kind of goes out on a flat first, so you can just hit the flat if there's no flat zone and try to get some easy yards and try to make some people miss. Your next read is the spot route, and this is a very good route against zone because it gets into the soft spot of really any zone you'll play. So when I snap the ball, you're going to see he's going to find open space, and you can just hit him right there for easy yards. And when I go to the instant replay, what you're going to see is that the running back flat or wheel route is going to pull this flat towards the sidelines, which opens up the spot route in the middle of the field. Now, if those two routes are not open, your third read is going to be the tight end, and it will be more so the tight end up the seam. So when I snap the ball, if the seams are open, pass lead it down, easy possession catch right there. And if the user isn't guarding that, you can almost hit that every single time. And finally, your last read is the corner route by the slot receiver. So when I snap the ball, what you're going to see is that this slot receiver could get open on the sidelines, especially against cover 3 hard flat, cover 4 hard flat, or cover 2 hard flat. And here's the gameplay for this setup. In this play, my main goal was to keep the chains moving and to not take any negative yards. So at the snap, I saw the outside corner drop back as well as the slot corner drop towards the middle of the field in a vert hook. This led to the wheel route to be wide open quickly after the snap for easy yards. Now for setup number 2 out of Scat, all we're going to do is put the tight end on a drag just like this. Then we're going to motion him over, and then we're going to put the outside receiver on a streak, so the play will look like this. Now your first read in this play, again, is the running back flat or wheel route. So again, at the snap of the ball, if the flats are open, give it to the running back real quick, try to get an easy 4 to 5 yards. So your second read is the tight end drag, and if the running back isn't open quick, you're just going to look at the tight end underneath the linebackers. So we're going to see here, we can hit that tight end underneath against really any zone, and the tight end drags do very well against man. Your third read is the spacing route, and once again, this spacing route could get open in the soft spot of the zone, just like you see there. Your last read in this play is the corner route, and once again, this corner route could get open underneath the deep blue zones on the sidelines for an easy pitch and catch. In this clip, I was looking to get closer to the end zone to go up 2 scores. At the snap of the play, I saw the wheel route was immediately defended and the spacing route was getting pressed. So I started to look at the other half of the field, and when I saw there was open space underneath, I quickly threw it to the drag for an easy pickup. The next play we're going to go over is halfback Sluggo. For the adjustments, we're going to put the outside receiver on a comeback. We're going to put the tight end on a post. Then we're going to put the outside receiver, the solo receiver, on the left side on a drag. And then we're going to block the running back, so the play should look like this. Now, the first read in the play is the drag route. So you're going to see at the snap of the ball, if we could hit that drag underneath the linebackers, definitely do so for an easy pitch and catch for a few yards. Your next read is the post route. And this post is very good at beating man or zone. Now, more specifically against zone, you just want to be sure that you pass lead the ball down and away from the deep blue zones, just like you see there. So when I go to the instant replay, you're going to see, and this is very important, if you pass lead this in stride up here, you're going to give it to you're going to literally throw it right into the deep safety. So what you want to do is throw it down and away, kind of near the 40-yard line, and then come back to the ball with the receiver, just like you see right there, to prevent any disruptions by the defense. Your next read in the play is the seam route, and against cover 3, against cover 4, sometimes against man, this will get open right in the seam right here for an easy possession catch and a first down. The last read in the play is the comeback route, and once again, against zone defense, you're going to have this comeback route on the sidelines, just like you see right here. So here are the gameplay clips. In this clip, I was trying to get down and get a score before the half, so I wanted to try and get some big yards or get out of bounds to save my timeouts. At the snap, I read the drag was guarded, so then I looked at the post and seam streak, which were both defended. So I then went to the comeback, and I knew if I threw the ball as the wide receiver broke towards the sidelines, I'd be able to get an open catch and get out of bounds. In the second clip, I read the user go upfield with the post along with the defense not having any flat on the field. This left the drag wide open for an easy gain. The next setup out of halfback Sluggo is a one-play touchdown versus cover 2. For the adjustments, all you're going to do is put the solo receiver on a drag, then block the running back, then you're going to post the tight end, and then put the outside receiver on a streak. And what you're going to see here is when I snap the ball, if we have enough time in the pocket, we're going to have a wide open throw to the seam streak up the middle of the field for a one-play touchdown. So when I go into the instant replay, what you're going to see here is that this seam streak will run into the middle of the field, which is the vulnerability of cover 2, while this streak will also be on the sidelines. So this deep half stays in the middle here because you can't guard both receivers. This leaves this receiver up the middle wide open for, again, a massive one-play touchdown. And here's the gameplay clips of this happening in an online game. In this play, I was anticipating my opponent to be in a cover 2 shell based off previous possessions, so I set up my cover 2 bomb. At the snap, I knew it was a cover 2 due to the behavior of the safeties dropping back into deep halves, and with this safety not being able to guard the seam streak up the middle and the outside streak, I lasered the ball down the middle of the field for an enormous gain and one-play touchdown. Now for the next play, we'll be going over halfback draw, and it's very simple. This play is actually very, very good, and the blocking is very, very good. You just want to be sure you follow your blocks, try to make some people miss, and get easy free yards. A lot of people won't expect you to run the ball, so if you can mix this into your offense, it will make it that much better. So now we're going to go over a double pass in the formation pistol tight Y off flex. So the double pass is called cheat tight end double pass. Now this play is very, very good because it beats any zone defense for a one-play touchdown. The only thing you want to make sure you do is pass the ball while you're on the run. So when I snap the ball, the tight end will be in a motion, and the quarterback will auto motion or auto throw it to the tight end. So you're going to see here, he auto throws it, and if we throw this on the run, it'll be a pretty accurate pass, and if you have a fast receiver, you could go for a one-play touchdown. And when I go to the instant replay, you're going to see against zone that the zones will react to the throw and bite down on the tight end. So you're going to see, if I can actually move the reticle, here we go. You're going to see that these guys bite towards the tight end, leaving the corner for an almost one-play touchdown. And here is some gameplay for this setup. So I want to show you guys a strategy to incorporate for this double pass. In this game, this was my first time getting the ball, and knowing I have a double pass in my scheme, I want to try and disguise it so my opponent never sees it coming. So the first play I call is motion halfback zone, which looks exactly like the double pass, except it's a simple run that could give you free yards, just like you see here in this play. Fast forward to later in the game, I now decide to run the double pass, which again looks exactly like the cheat halfback zone we ran earlier in the game. Because of this, my opponent thought I was running a run play, but instead I was able to trick him with a double pass for a huge pickup and one play score. For the last part of the video, we're going to go over one of the best red zone plays in the game. The play is goal line fork zig in the formation wide trips weak. So in the play, you again want the 3 wide receiver set on the far side of the field, and you need to be on a hash mark. For the adjustments, all you're going to do is put the running back on a streak, and then you can put the slot receiver on an in route and custom stem him up, or you can put him on a flat. Now the first read in this play is the running back streak, but if the running back streak is guarded, you're then going to look at the zig. This zig is really good because what you're going to see is the streak pulls any flat zones away from the sidelines, and that opens up the zig. So what you're going to see here is that the zig will get wide open for an easy touchdown, and this is almost automatic unless they user it. So you're going to see here, you sometimes just need to read these 2 players. That's it, because one of them is going to be open. If the running back isn't open, that's going to leave the zig wide open. And you're going to see, how, look how many yards, that's a flat route. That's a flat zone. The flat zone gets pulled to the middle of the field, leaving the zig wide open on the sidelines. It's honestly just a very powerful goal line play. But let's say those routes are not open. That is cool because we still have the right side. Now, the cool thing about the right side is we have this cool spot route, and then he turns into a slant, and if there's no hook zone, we can just throw it to him in the end zone. And then, of course, we have this tight end corner, and this tight end corner is very good at beating man and getting to the soft spot of the end zone, just like you see there. And here's the gameplay clips for this red zone play. In this play, I needed a big score to tie the game before the half, so I went to one of the best red zone plays in Madden. At the snap, I saw the flat defender run towards the halfback streak, and when I read that, I knew I would have an easy pass to the zig with a pass lead outside on the sidelines for a big time tutty. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.